And this
o'clock.
is how we do it on the Donna Smith Show. On the Donna Smith Show. And this is how we do it on the Donna Smith Show. Yes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Well, how we do it. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for being here. We smooth transition. We came on in. Sorry, we're a little behind ourselves. We had some technical difficulties today. I'm not gonna blame nobody. I'm just gonna say it didn't work out too good. I couldn't hear too good, but now I can hear just fine. Okay. So anyway, welcome you guys to the show tonight. Thank you for being here. My panel making it. I know it's a little later than usual, but your girl just bouncing back. So anyway, I want to say with this disclaimer that anything that we talk about, any feedback, any questions, any debates, or anything of that nature, it's not meant to offend anyone. If anything we talk about is not for you, or is something that makes you feel uncomfortable, please just slide on by and come back for the next conversational topic, because we're all over the place and we're always talking about something that's going to make you go, So on that note, welcome everybody. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, we got to do our toast to the hostess with the mostest. Now, what I can say is I'm doing liquids right now. What you got, JJ?
I got me a strawberry.
Oh yeah, that thing is something else, JJ. That's
he got liquids.
He got. I'm gonna pour a little something in my. I got a little refresher. Because I'm supposed to drink liquids only, and I'm gonna pour a cap full of some
liquid.
I'm gonna pour some cough syrup in. Yeah, I'm just a little.
You're on a syrup now, huh?
Well, I'm still trying to keep it.
Some cough syrup, JJ.
I'm trying to.
She over there making some syrup with you got some Jolly Ranchers or something to drop off in there.
I'm trying to do what the doctor said. You know what? Stop it.
You got to drop the candy in there too.
No, I ain't doing that. But I'm trying to do. Well, let's just get our toast on first. Here we go. Toast to the hostess with the mostest. Welcome everyone. Drink. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's all right. It's all right. Yes. Welcome you guys. I was gonna not do tonight's show, but I had to be here. I am recuperating. How many days? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's only been 3 days I've had surgery ago. And I didn't take my medication because I would have been kind of slurry right now. I'm still suffering with a few issues, but as you can see, your girl is healing very well. Okay. Yeah. It's just a little mishap in certain areas, and the tummy needs to really, really heal up because they had to go up in there. And for you guys who don't know, I had surgery. I had a hiatal hernia repair. So that's something that is common. We get, it can come from lifting, it can come from straining, it can come from a lot of things. Mine may have developed from a surgery I had 2 years ago. But anyway, it got to the point where it was causing issues. So they had to go in and repair that. And surgery is kind of serious because they're in there moving stuff around and trying to make it work. So now it's a healing process. I'm on liquids and I'm about to, I got to be on liquids for 5 days. And that's until Wednesday. And then I can go into soft foods because I have to take it easy with introducing stuff back into the tummy. I can go into soft foods, but I'm gonna mess up some mashed potatoes, I want some what you call that, macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna try that one too, but I'm gonna do some soft stuff. All right, I'm gonna get it in. And then
I'm glad I wasn't eating today.
Like.
The past few lives we've done, I've been eating, but I decided not to today.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't, because I got people just talking about they going here and there. They talking about all this good food, and I'm like, when you ain't had no food in a few days. Actually, last time I ate was Wednesday night. This is Sunday. So I did get a piece of gum. I had to.
You had to choose something.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, I know it's mental or something, but I got the gum and the gum kind of pacified the situation, but it was not biting into something that was pleasurable. Okay. So, that's a struggle. And the soft is for 3 weeks. So I got soft foods for 3 weeks. That's going to be a struggle too. I can't bite into any chicken, no ribs, no, nothing. I just got to keep it cool. Okay. So that's the story I got to tell, but I'm doing fine, you guys. Welcome. Anybody else has anything to share? How was your week? How was your issues? I've shared mine. You had any, JJ?
Ooh, just don't be nice to everybody. So
What
some
happened?
people, they'll turn into a stalker.
Don't be nice to everybody.
You was kind of nice to somebody and now you have a problem.
I felt sorry for him and gave this person some food, and now they want to stalk my line and be all in my business.
They calling you and texting you and stuff?
They all kinds of stuff, and
so
I feel real bad for this person, but they bringing it on themselves. So,
but was it actually a friend?
It's a neighbor. I call myself being neighborly and helping out a neighbor.
So you can't run and hide from them because they right next
to
the apartment complex. Yeah.
Some folks is like when you put a little food out for some cats, now you mad because some cats don't leave.
Oh my goodness.
You know that story, Give a Mouse a Cookie, that we learned in kindergarten?
Mm-hmm.
Deeper than
I learned in the project growing up. You let somebody borrow some sugar. Oh my God. Or some milk or some eggs. They knocking on your door every other day, wanting to borrow something. For real. That is a bugaboo. So JJ, how are you going to rectify this issue, this situation?
Right now, I'm ignoring all calls. I'm telling them not to call me. So far is working out. We'll see as time progresses.
So did you have to be rough and gruff about it, or were you just
nice I had to. You got to be an a-hole. Because
no, you don't have to.
Yes, you do. This person not respecting boundaries, and they have mental issues. So you have to be gruff with them in order to get the picture. If I'm nice and like, oh, stop bothering me, then it's this not going to come across as well. So I had to be stern. I got to. Well,
there's nothing wrong with being firm. That's not being an a whatever.
I got to be
being firm is good. Yeah.
So you say it started off with you just actually they was asking for food, or you just went on it?
I just gave them a couple of packs of ramen, and they thinking they could just do whatever. And it's but they have a major mental issue, so that's a major part of it.
Wow. So, well, I really hope that you don't have any further issues with that person, because that's right next door or a couple of doors down or whatever. It can be troublesome. You don't want to have to tell your landlord that.
I don't want to have to hit him with the blicky. No, just
oh Lord, don't do that, JJ. Don't do that.
Don't hit him with it.
Hit him with the blinky.
One time for the vine. One time for the vine.
JJ, I believe you probably told him that. That's why he didn't step back. You told him, man, don't have me blink you out.
Nah, I'm full of surprises. I ain't seen that part yet, and hopefully don't get to that point.
But that was very kind of you, and maybe they do need some food here and there, and it's nothing wrong with that being nice. I mean, just obviously this person needs some kind of, closeness with somebody, and he thought that you were somebody that he can be close to.
That's my problem. I'm an empath. I come off real friendly. I come off like, I know how I come off to people sometimes. And it goes, for some people, it could go overboard. And I've had to just Wakanda shut them off.
Yeah.
Just shut them off.
I know what you mean. I've had to do that too with being.
I don't like doing that.
Yeah, with being too nice with people. that sometimes took that for granted.
And
Or,
then the face doesn't help. I have a friendly face. It
and
I
when you
can't be
have a
mad.
smile all the time,
Right.
you cheerful,
Right.
they think you a little, mushy pushy. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Don't let that smile fool you. Look, don't let it fool you now. But sometimes folks will take that for granted. But thanks for sharing. I hope everything works out in regards to that, and that your neighbor will back up a little bit, and give you some peace and space. John, what about you? How was your week, and how are you doing? How are things going with you?
Everything is good. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
That is great to hear. So you had a fabulous week, huh?
I didn't say that.
Oh, not fabulous. Wonderful and fabulous is in the same family.
I know. Well, you asked me how I'm doing. I say I'm wonderful.
Okay.
My week, it was just normal. It's just you know, doing your daily task and dealing with stuff, and then checking checking family and stuff that's down south and everything. So dealing with all that with the hurricane and just
prayers to that,
constantly checking because I got family down in southern Florida, all the way up into the Gulf, and then family all out there. Just all down that way. You just think about it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Well, just send prayers out and keep checking on them, and I hope that they are okay.
There's some with the other families, with some well,
Yeah.
everybody on the move.
Yeah. And a good thing is here in California, we don't have to deal with those type of hurricanes and stuff like that, but we do have to deal with earthquakes out here that a lot of people find frightening, about
fires.
And fires, yeah. So we have our own little situation, shoot, sometime I'll be thinking the ocean is gonna start doing some crazy things on us. What you call those, tsunamis?
On y'all side is called
we actually remember that when I was up in Canada earlier this year, last year or this year, earlier this year, in the early part of the year when I was up there was a tsunami, whatever how you ever go, tsunami. Tsunami.
It's so confusing.
I know the T is silent. Yeah.
Silent.
Yeah, I got that part. But even without the T, tsunami, I had to work on that. But there was a warning for the coastal area. It was a warning. It was earlier the year because I forgot somewhere in the Pacific something was going on.
Yeah.
And we had coastal, and I was like, even the airport, because I was supposed to have been coming back when I got into Washington, but even they were like having delays because of the warnings and stuff.
Okay.
So you got to look. You see how the weather is, how things are going place, and these people in different areas having weather that they usually wouldn't have, or we see all these crazy earthquakes, and this global warming is real, so there's no telling what we could get. Shoot, we might end up one day getting a symbol on the TV and we don't even recognize it because we ain't used to it. Getting them hurricane symbols.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. I mean, I would be just horrified.
I don't see why. Hey, it's the ocean right there.
Yeah, it is.
Shoot.
It is. But wow, okay. Well, prayers to everybody who's going through the rough weather conditions, that they be safe and and not left homeless and devastated and stuff. So moving right along, you guys. What about those
Mhm.
gas prices? God
Oh,
dog it! I went to the gas station. It's $6 and something a gallon out here.
I
JJ, I don't
didn't.
know where it is where you're at.
Yeah, we're at 350.
350. Are you serious?
Yeah.
We're at six. I paid 607 because I paid with
Oh,
cash. I think it would have been 614 if you would have used your card. That was
no.
about the cheapest that I saw around. Some is 649,
Super was six.
630,
Super was 669, and that was
669.
the lowest I found where I was at the moment, and I was like, God, dog it. But I seen some prices before,
Yeah.
because I forgot where I was at what I was doing, but I was like, oh man, they gas high over here. I wasn't tripping,
They
because
are
I
out of
don't. And
control.
then I got to the stations that I go to, and I was like, what the what?
Yeah.
What? What?
Yeah, even the little, lightweight. That's why you gotta choose your driving nowadays. Um, I commute, almost 100 miles a day, back and forth total.
Mm-hmm.
And my tank, I have to put gas twice a week. So it's very costly. I'm gonna enjoy the fact that I'm home recuperating and don't have to make that drive or that bridge toll. That's $7 a
Okay.
day.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got two dynamics going when you're commuting like that, and it's quite
Mm-hmm.
expensive. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't care. You have to figure out, you know, am I going to buy lunch at work or am I going to put gas in my car? You know what I'm saying? If you putting that gas in your car like that, you better bring you a sandwich and stuff because it's just so
Too
expensive.
much. I remember when it went from three something to four something, and to fill up my excursion, because I have a 45-gallon tank on there. And
Mm-hmm.
so when it had went up,
Yeah.
I was paying like 200, to fill up the tank,
Oh
or
my God.
180. Like if I use like my little rewards or whatever, I might
Right.
180, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, um, so with it like it is now, the prices now, oh man, it's way over $200, and it's nowhere in the world.
To fill it up.
Oh, I would. No, before this prices, it was almost 200 to fill it up. When the gas went up to $4 and something, that when
Okay.
we first got our jump. But you see how they do it. They talk about gas prices going down. Gas prices is not going down. What they do, they take us up and they get us used to it. They take us up and they bring us down what we used to, and they leave us there. And then they
Mm,
take us up, they pull that jive, and then they bring us, and they raise it up. They gonna
exactly.
bring it down, and they gonna watch. It's gonna be $5 and something out here, and we
Mm,
gonna be used to that because they gonna bring it from that $6. Because remember, it was up there already before, and they brought it down to the five something, and they
that's
gonna bring it up, and then we gonna be there, and then we just gonna keep climbing this ladder like they was doing. Because if gas was going down, we would be back to the prices with JJ talking about. So gas is
I haven't
not
seen
going
three
down.
dollars and something in.
Gas ain't going down. That's a
Oh my
lie.
God, JJ.
What they're saying is we're getting you used to this.
Yeah.
As inflation and everything, we getting you used to it. That's their
Well,
yeah.
it's
way
absolutely out
when
of
they raise
control.
taxes and all that junk. Let's get you used to this.
And ain't nobody taking no drives just to be driving. I'm telling you, you drive when you got to take care of business or
I
get
do.
somewhere. Ain't
I do.
nobody just drive. Okay, well, you must be driving something that don't. You,
Because freeway, you get on the freeway, set your cruise control, you save a lot more gas than you
That's
do
true.
riding anywhere around or having your foot off and on. I can go somewhere, shoot, I can fill up and come down from Sac and still have a way over probably damn near 7/8 of a tank. You know, then sit to cruise control. Boom, boom, boom,
You know what? He doing too much. But I
Hey,
hear you though. I
that's
hear you. I
from
don't use my
that's for, and
cruise
that's how
control.
I drive. I drive like that all the time.
I didn't know it saved you gas.
Control. And
I
I
use my
use
cruise control.
yeah, because it sits it. Because when you gas on and gas off and hitting it and doing all, and you use the controllers, you slow it down, you speed it up, you know, or you resume and let it just roll. Keep your distance and roll.
Yeah,
And on
yeah.
some cars, you know, like on the car, you set it on how far you want the car to stay back, and the car will stay back from the car in front of you. You
Mm-hmm.
the distance, and you just roll. And
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have your cruise control. Dun,
Gotta
dun,
have your
dun, dun,
Well, you know, I
dun,
gotta try the cruise control.
dun,
I've never
dun,
tried it. I
dun,
do
dun,
have it.
dun,
I just haven't. I'm just
dun.
scared
Yes.
that I'm not in control. That the car is.
As long
I
as
gotta
let me
learn how to
see.
do it.
When your foot is on that floor resting, when something happened, because you've been driving, your foot is automatically gonna jump to where it gotta jump.
But if it's
It's,
on cruise control and your foot and something happens and your foot taps the brake, it is automatically
it cancels out the cruise control. Even
okay.
if it cancels out the cruise control. You know.
Okay, so I
And
didn't
then
know
it
that.
and it
I
got
thought
the
you.
little
I
and
didn't
you
know.
can cancel. That's why you should always know like where everything in your car, all your buttons, all that stuff in your
Well, your
car
buttons are
is.
high, being welcome.
What's up, Ben?
Hey now, what's up, people?
Yeah, and can you know all your controllers in your car, but you save gas when you're on the freeway with your cruise control.
Okay, got
Save a
it.
lot of
I'm gonna
gas.
try it the next time I'm I'm in a lot of stop and go commute though. So it's like
Yeah, yeah, that's different.
I gotta
But
wait
you know
until
what
it breaks
though?
through and I'm
But
driving when I'm
even helping with that, don't be up on the cars. Be back to
right.
where you can, because you want to be able to make a maneuver in case something happened in lane
Exactly. And
anyway.
some of them
And
be
just
tailgating.
let the car. If you forget what they doing, let the car just cruise. Keep that distance and let the car just flow behind it. You'd be surprised
Yep.
instead of gassing and braking. Nobody be gassing and braking no more.
Be
Yeah.
like, you just need gas, brake, dipping
Gas
gas.
and gas brake. That's right.
Gas
That's
break,
right
gas
there.
break, gas break.
Gas brake.
Y'all don't make me laugh. My stomach's still sore. Quit
I'm
playing.
sorry.
Quit playing. Quit playing. Okay. So moving right along, let's get into our inquiring mind want to know question to help somebody out this day.
Okay.
They are in a situation.
I got my notepad ready.
Okay, ready. Take notes so you'll know because y'all be forgetting. I can do it, read it twice, but I ain't reading it three
And
times.
let me take my sip too.
Yes, it ain't that bad, but it's real life stuff that's going on. But anyway, her kids are bad as hell. They talk back and are very disruptive. She doesn't believe in spanking or hard discipline. I want to lay hands most of the time.
Oh,
She
he
says
laid
that
it.
once they get more comfortable with me, they will act better. What the hell? I thought she was the one. But those two kids are ages 8 and 6, and they're off the hook. I have no kids and waited with waited once with her after marriage. Okay, and waited and wanted one with her after marriage. But hell to the no. I love her though. Should I do a long engagement to see what happens or just get ghost? Question mark. Somebody's TV is loud. Ben, is that you? Thank you.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
Because your TV's overpowering Miss Donna a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Would you guys like me to read it one more time?
I say long engagement. If he want to be with the girl, spend some time, see what happens.
And see.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, hold on, John. Jay, did you need me to read it one
Oh
more
no,
time?
I got everything on
Okay,
the note.
Ben, you got it? Oh, he doing it.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. Okay, so What advice would you guys give this person? They want to know, should they go on and do a long engagement and see what happens, or just get out of that situation because it seems a bit out of control?
I
How
say
does it
do a
seem
long
out of control?
engagement and just
Are
see
they
what
whooping on him?
happens.
Are they whooping on him?
Hey,
Because I
They ain't
don't know how
whooping.
both of
long.
you guys was talking. Let me get one at a time. Okay, John, what you say?
No, I was just saying, where he said he wants to be with her, and he's talking about the engagement. Well, do the long engagement and see what happens. She said give it some time, so you'll be giving it some time. You'll do everything that she's saying that it's supposed to work, and if it don't work, it's like I always say, like Popeye, all I can stand, I can't stand no more.
She's saying that she
Shoot,
said that
all I can do.
yeah, she said give it some time, and once they
Yeah.
once they get comfortable with them or whatever, then
Hmm.
it should be a better situation.
Do the long engagement. That's it
They're
for that part.
observing the kids being bad as hell. They say they talk back and they're very disruptive. Now, what I'm questioning is,
Is that bad?
are
She's
they
not that
very
bad.
disruptive to them too, and the mother, or are they just disruptive, just out of control to everybody? That's what I'm gathering. It's just a thing of them being out of control. So
Yeah, that's what I see. But she's saying, but when they get used to you, now that goes back to as if it's the individual that they don't, and they're probably not out of control. They're probably just don't behave or
yeah,
uh consider him authority figure or what have you. So they just keep doing, because she said
but
when
they
they get
doing it to
used to
her too.
you,
They doing it to her too.
well, then how's she gonna say, wait, if she says, well, they just not used to you, once they get used to you, they won't be like that no more. So they gotta be used to her. So how's she gonna make that statement if they're doing it to her
I
too?
mean, no, she's used to them doing whatever they're doing, apparently. And this person that's with them is saying this is off the hook. She's allowing them to do XYZ. They're
Oh,
out of
she's a lot.
control.
Yeah, but we don't know what that XYZ is, or we don't know. They just probably some just bad kids. I mean, we don't know how they act with her. He said she let them do that. But I'm just saying, when for the statement of where she said once they get used to you, they'll stop that or what
Mhm.
have you. That's a big
And he
statement
never
right
said.
there.
He never gave examples of anything that was going on. He
Yeah,
didn't say, he didn't say they jumped off or they tore his car up or nothing.
yeah.
It just sounded like he just want to whoop on them and make
Yeah,
them get mad.
that was the wrong verbiage.
Yep.
That lay hands on
Yeah,
them.
he
That was
said,
the
I
wrong
want to lay
verbiage.
hands most of the time.
Yeah, that's the wrong verbiage for some kids, especially when you're trying to talk to somebody. Don't use that
Hey,
verbiage next
are
time.
they
He probably didn't mean it, but some people will take it the wrong way and say, "Oh, you probably don't need to be there anyway. You sound abusive," you know. But he
but
just
are they
probably
baby's
saying that. He
kids?
probably just saying
He
that
said that she
in a
doesn't
bad
believe
thing.
she does not believe in spanking or hard or harsh discipline.
I don't know what you call harsh discipline.
I don't know.
Right.
I guess I
And
would
why would you
assume.
need it? And why would you need harsh discipline?
Well, he's saying it's needed because the kids is bad as hell. They out of control.
Are
They're
they? That's
My
the
He ain't
thing
question
got
I'm
is,
no
how
asking.
did
they're
they?
kids.
Are they like
disruptive.
How,
baby's kids? We don't die, we
He ain't got
multiply.
no kids. But he ain't got no kids. How he know what bad or good is in a kid? Kids go through phases from all through their life. They may be doing one thing at 6 that they're not gonna do at 9 and 10.
True.
So he talk about they bad. How you gonna say they bad and you have no kids?
yeah, but
Just
she
because you
must
don't have
acknowledge
kids doesn't
that.
mean that you don't have experience with children, because you could be an uncle that have helped raise or help take care of your nephews or something like that, or a cousin that helped take care of your younger cousins or something like that. So you could have a lot of experience with children, even though you don't have children. But at the same time, you know, you gotta be careful in your words and your verbiage. And that's the thing. Like right now, it's not really okay to be whooping kids like that. That's considered abuse. So you gotta be careful with that. Like they even talking about that you can't even yell at kids. That's considered abuse. Like you gotta do something.
It is an abuse. They telling you that.
But at the same time, it's like something has to be done. Some punishment has to happen. If these kids are acting disrespectful, there needs to be some kind of punishment, like things taken away, things like that.
Time out. You take away their phone. You take away their
stuff like that.
Their Nintendo.
You don't have to lay hands on the kid, but you could take away their privileges and stuff, things that they like to do, and let them sit and think about their actions, and it might turn around. But you got to let time build up for that. These kids don't know him like that, so they might be acting out because they're like, well, you're not my daddy, you don't know me like that.
You
know what I mean? And so what you gonna do? You gotta just stick it out.
Yeah, but she acknowledged that by saying, we'll give them time, give it time. So that's acknowledgement from her. So that's his thing for saying these kids bad. And they probably is bad. But the thing is, we seeing with the kids taking this stuff from the kid and take this from the kid. What kind of, we don't know really, let's cancel the harsh discipline and whatever, but what other teaching or whatever has she been giving her kids? Because they don't just get there on their own.
Right.
You know, you allow so much because they are going to learn from other kids, especially they go to preschool and on up, pre-K and all that. They learn from other kids. You know, that's the whole purpose of that too, to help them get ready, prepare them for socializing and starting to deal with other kids. But what do you do if you don't allow it? Do you say, hey, tell them no, they ain't gonna allow it? Or do you just cut it out and leave it like you just saying something, or raising your voice? Because I believe just raising your voice, saying, hey, don't do that, and the kid don't know why they're not supposed to, do it or whatever. But now I know if my kids is playing we out somewhere and all of a sudden I know something could be some danger and I'm saying stop, and I'm going to start yelling stop, and I might start yelling a certain way because I'm going to keep them out of danger, but not yell as to degrade them or anything, or what have you. And so that's the difference. That's why I say it's a difference.
Names and all that kind of stuff.
in talking to your kids with sternness compared to talking with your kids and degrading them and belittling them. And there's a difference for me in abuse and discipline. There's to me, it's a big difference.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because there's some things we can do doesn't have to involve a belt, and it can be abuse, but we think it's more humane or gentle or whatever. But okay, really, but what is it doing to this kid? Matter of fact, what is it doing to a kid standing up in the corner? How long has it been standing up before then? Before you put them in the corner and steal or whatever. I mean, it's a whole kind of thing that we're gonna look at it.
Right.
But it's how we do things with the kids. That's what I say. But the whole thing is, how did she even attempt to teach these kids? And he, like you say, so he can play it out with the long engagement and see how his relationship.
Well, apparently his way of dealing with unruly kids is totally different from hers, and that's something they're gonna have to
deal with. That's right.
Work on this. I mean, it may not be something that's gonna work out because the parent, she's got her way of doing. The kids are 8 and 6 and 8 years old.
Yeah, 6 and 8.
So she's been doing it this way for those years. And now you with this person, I don't know how long they've been together or whatever. Apparently, he's not the kid's father. He's
And you got to take that into consideration too, because if
yeah.
the kid's father are involved, you don't know what the fathers allow. And then that's a whole nother issue right there. Remember the guy who called and said, "Yeah, I know I ain't been paying." Remember that, Ben? I ain't been paying child support. I was paying child support, but I don't pay no child support no more. But this dude trying to teach my kids his way.
Yeah.
He been taking care of them, and he been doing. See, that's a whole nother thing. So his best thing for him is do the long engagement, and that way that gives him time to talk as things arouse, and even probably come along some other things that if not even related to the kids that they may need to face, and
Mm-hmm.
then take
Yeah.
it from there. Take it
So he
Yeah.
from
need to
there
hit that. He might want to take a parenting class or a kids turn
and
class,
do something like that too, and
because he
get
or
might be in the
involved with
wrong
them.
mindset. Yeah, but
or
he
he
might
might
be
want
in the wrong mindset.
or
But
he might
he
want
needs
to
to get involved with them. Do something, kind
Yeah.
of see what they like, and just do something. Slide something to them that they like, and keep it moving. And let it marinate with them. Let it marinate with them. They'll
or you
come
might want to
eventually and
leave.
be like, "Thank you, James. Thank you, whoever." And you never know. But don't let it force nothing. Let it happen.
Yeah, they gotta learn. And like JJ was saying,
Oh,
it could very well be that person has experience. We don't know. He may have raised or been in the life of some nephews or nieces or whatever. We don't know. So he may have a little experience and then he may not. So we don't know. But as far as them as a couple, and he's coming into a situation with stepchildren, and then there's obviously a daddy out there that's probably,
or
you have those
how
daddies that's
many?
like, don't put no hands on my kids, dude. I know y'all together, but don't put no hands on my kid. You know what I'm saying? So you have those dynamics. And
Or the
then,
dad might not be alive. That might be another
yeah,
possibility too.
true. He may not be alive, or he may be incarcerated. We we
Yep.
we don't know that story.
So
But
there's a lot of layers to this one.
it's a lot of layers, and it's coming to an understanding with each other. But I think it takes time, like John said, it takes time. This couple is going to have to give it time. Long engagement, I don't know what a long engagement is considered. It's a couple of years, 3 years. 3 years seem very long,
And
but
in comparison to people getting married the next day,
I mean, a year and a
years. I
half
think
seem to be the limits. I mean, a year
I think
is
a
a
year
long
is
time.
No,
good.
no, 2, 3, baby, two,
Two, three
three.
years, two,
Mm-hmm.
3 years
Life's
engaged.
too short for that.
Yeah.
You
You'll
can't
know
you
in about
can't
a
you
year.
can't you can't put
What
a
you mean y'all
time.
together already?
You
Y'all
can't put
together
a time.
already?
You
Why you
can't
gotta
put
bring
a
it up?
time on stuff like that.
But what's a
Because
long engagement? What's a
because
long
Six,
engagement?
7 years?
however, see, for them, it's on the people. You can't, because some people can say, "Hey, we know we're in this together," and 6 months down the line, they'll end up probably married. And have a good long marriage. You just don't know. My mother, actually, my father showed up for a party. My mother said she didn't even remember him because she thought he was coming to be probably one of her cousins or something. And he showed up, and he told me, she said, my grandmother told me that he said sitting in the kitchen, and he said, "I'm gonna marry your daughter. It's gonna be my wife." And she was like, "What?"
And it
And they
happened.
ain't even went on their first date yet.
Yeah.
They didn't even go on the first date.
They say
He
some
just
people
knew it.
know. Some
So
people really know.
you can't put time, because then who determines that it's supposed to be 90 days, 4 years, 2 years, 1 year? Who determines
Well,
that?
I mean, that's what I'm asking because you specifically said long engagement. I'm just wondering, what timetable what is a long engagement?
It has to be for him. It has to be what it looks like to both of them. We do a long engagement, so they may determine a long engagement for us looks like a year, or a long engagement looks like 2 years, or a long engagement looks like 5 years, whatever.
Or you can get
That's
off a
what it looks
celebrity.
like to them. It has to be what it looks like to them. They're the ones who in that relationship.
Yeah. Ben has this thing. Yeah. Benjamin.
Oh yeah, and it's showing
Oh,
up
there
on
you go.
YouTube.
You had something going on.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what, Ben, any other advice you want to give? I know you've had parenting classes. I know you have experience with youngsters right now. Do any advice you want to give this couple?
My advice is, with what he's saying, if either he's prehistoric or he really needs some educational stuff, because what he's saying is not gelling. What he wants is, it sounds like a whole bunch of peace and the kids just flow around him, and you as a man walking into a situation, you have to understand, you have to put yourself in the situation. You have to take time for the situation to gel around you. And to think you're going to walk into somebody's life, you shouldn't even want that. You shouldn't want to walk into a woman's situation in 6 months, a year, you beating on the kids and you cussing them. Dude, that's not proper. Because the kids don't know you like that. And now you being made to do something. And then what happens if you leave? Now you done set this angle. One thing he should try to be doing is just dating her outside of the kids. He should try to do that for a while. Just her and him.
Well, how is he going to do that? And she has kids, and she may not have babysitters.
He needs to he needs to bring himself into slowly. He can't just 1 minute. If they living together, that's a mess.
Oh, you saying just don't be around him, not involved with. It sounds like they may be living together, but I don't know. But
if they are, he need to figure something else out, because you want to put your hands on
apartment.
Craig, yeah, you know what, JJ?
You putting your hands on them kids and
I know.
Doing all that. If you really is, 2 or 3
He's
years.
not putting his hands. He says the way things are being ran, he's been making him want to,
Yeah, he wants to.
But she doesn't believe in that. So he's trying to he's trying to deal with it in a different way, but it's making him want to, deal with it. They're that bad.
But he said something key when it comes to about, like we're talking about co-parenting on how raising kids. And because he said they have plans of even having a kid together.
Mm-hmm.
And he will, and how is that? So he concerned, how is that going to look? How would that look? How that's going to look with us both trying to raise this kid.
After marriage, he wants to have one with her.
See, so if he do the long engagement, they can continue to talk about this and probably come to learn different things about each other. He might learn something about himself that he find that's not acceptable, and she might learn something as well, vice versa, and
absolutely
also learn the good things, what they can incorporate together. So take the long engagement, because evidently he already mentioned marriage and kids, so he loved a woman. Okay,
he love her.
Love is patient. Love is patient. So go and take the long engagement and whatever that looks like to them. But don't take the long engagement and be in silence. You got to open your mouth
and don't marry
so and have that conversation.
What you say, JJ?
And don't marry so you can start getting stimuluses for the kids and
stuff.
That's
he said he loved her.
Hey, he said
you marrying for stimulus? Are they doing that?
He loved
Are they doing that?
Right off his taxes.
Are they really doing that?
I had to go there.
They want to get stimulus and they want to add exemptions onto their. You know what? Well, people are getting married for all the wrong reasons. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And they look at, oh boy, dependent. She got 6 kids. Oh my God, wonderful. That's 6 kids, and that's me and her. That's
He's not
8.
thinking like that.
and I could get all this money on my taxes because I could. Oh wow,
JJ, look
come
what
on,
you
look
started.
at that.
Look what you started, JJ.
Hey,
For real, hey, look at that.
He ain't
And then it's
thinking
like, well,
about
baby,
that.
I'm making more money and I'm working more hours, so let me
Wait,
claim.
we got this whole.
Let me claim all y'all.
Oh
Okay?
my God.
And then I'm gonna give you some, but let me do it. And it's a win-win situation. But I married you because you had 6 kids. I mean, that's all bad. That's another subject for another day, for real though. That's some serious stuff right there. You just JJ,
he won't look like
that
this.
can.
JJ
opened up that can. Ben had to run on that one. He was like, you know what, this is too much. he had to run. But
I ain't going nowhere. I just had to move around a little bit.
oh, he had to move around a little bit. But I would say with this couple, like you guys said, we all gave great feedback. You know, they need to talk. The engagement needs to be longer. They need to talk about the situation, especially before they end up getting married and things are still crazy. If the kids are still acting out of control, like he said, and he want to strangle them and she's not into that. I don't know what her discipline
she done with the strangle.
I don't
Well,
think
I think he
I
wants to whoop him. I just really think he wants to spank him. He wants to spank him or whoop him.
He wants to spank them to get them in control.
Yeah.
Whatever
he
discipline.
don't. She done with. We did already clear that thing.
Hummer on it. Yeah, you didn't. You went to all them other levels.
Whatever discipline she's
he was
using,
wrong for saying
it's not working.
He
say it's not working. They still out of control, baby kids. So, you know, they got to get that together as a couple. Now that they're a couple, because when he does have a child with her, if they get married, it's gonna be a struggle war between them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna be like, no, chastising little Johnny, and she's gonna be like, no, I don't do that. And you're gonna have this thing going on, and it's gonna cause a lot of rift and craziness in the family. You guys agree?
I agree.
Okay, so that's good stuff. So let's move on, you guys. Now, if you have a grown child, an adult grown child that has taken the wrong path or made some bad decisions, love and blood is a strong tie. So if you have a grown child that has made some choices that's off the hook, that's out of your, you as a parent, you're like, oh, hey, how do you deal with that? Because you got this love and this blood tie. And in that regard, you want to be nurturing and caring and be there for them no matter which path they decided to go, right? Right? But they're grown and they've made these decisions that it's like, you just can't deal with. So what do you do as a parent when you're in that situation? JJ, I know you're not a parent yet, but just on your own perspective, I'll go with you first. What do you think a parent should do in that regard?
I'll speak from the child's perspective. I'm the child and I have a parent that disagrees with the direction that I'm going in. Okay. A lot of times there's nothing that you can do. You can't control me. You can't control where I'm going to go. I'm going to make my decisions. I'm going to do what I feel is best for me. My thing is I've been told that they don't like the path that I'm going in, and I'm not out there dealing drugs. I have a clean record. I have a regular job. They still don't like the direction I'm going in. So I feel like as the child, it gets to a point where you can't please everybody. Mm-hmm. The child has to do what's best for them. And for me, I got to do what's best for me. I can't live for my parents because one day they might not be here. One day I might not be here. And did I waste my whole life living for my parents? So
bingo.
So I have to keep in mind whatever advice they give. Okay, I heard you. but I gotta do what's best for me. You know, if I feel like I'm saving money staying in a hotel for a few years until I get me an apartment, that's what I need to do, and that's what happened to me. You know, and then I come to find out a lot of my neighbors were living in hotels for a long time before they got them in place. So, excuse me, things happen. As far as if I were to be, okay, I'm good, but let's say I want to become a stripper. I want to do an OnlyFans or something like that, and I don't care who see my junk. My parents got to deal with that. You know what I mean? The people got to think, well, what does your grandmother think? I don't care what my grandmother thinks. I don't, you know, it gets to a point where I don't want to worry about all of that. I want to do what I feel is best for me.
As an adult stage and age in your life, you have that right to make your own choices and direction. And I think as a parent, it becomes hard for them to accept certain trails and traits that a grown child takes. You know, it could be whatever things that they are into, like you mentioned, stripping. You know, some parents would be like, "What the hell?" You know, but you know, sliding up and down poles, or you know, some of them try. You know, they decide they not this way, they want to be that way, and you know, it's a hard pill to swallow. I remember when I was first doing poetry and music, and I did some love stuff, and then I jumped over into some really adult, hot, sizzling stuff, right? And my mom she wasn't into social media or anything, but I had the guy who produced my first, you know, which was it Lay It Down? I think it was called Lay It Down. But it was one where we did a short teaser video, and I had all these little gadgets before me, and I was doing the actual, you know, the video, the song. So someone decided to show it to my mom. One of my members, my family, somebody showed it to mom, you know, 70-something years old. And so she didn't know. She knew I did poetry or whatever. She didn't really I never let her hear, you know, all my
I can hear her now.
Stuff like that, right?
Right.
So they let mama see the whole thing. And boy, did I hear that one.
Oh.
And was I judged? And was I talked about? And was I ridiculed? And was I told that I was, she took it as if I was telling the world about what I was doing. My experiences in my bedroom had nothing to do with my experiences in my bedroom.
You were telling the story.
It's art.
It's art.
It's creative storytelling. It's imaginary, whatever. It's art. When musicians get up and they write a song and they do all this, sometimes. Wait just a minute. My candle popping. Just a minute.
Okay, I got you. I hope you can hear me, but I was.
Shit.
You got a fire?
I'm trying to put it out.
Go get a pot or something.
How do I put it out?
What is the candle?
It's not going out, you guys.
You trying to put the candle out?
Yeah.
Get something and put it over it. Smother it.
Put over it. Yeah.
Like what? A towel?
Go wet a towel. Go wet your hand towel in your bathroom right there. Wet your towel.
Oh my goodness.
Wet the towel.
On the show.
Can you carry it into the bathroom?
Still burning underneath.
While she's doing that, go get some water.
Okay. Yeah. So.
I'll be back. But what should I do?
So did you put the wet towel over it?
Yeah, but it ain't wet towel.
I told you to wet the towel. Cause you don't want to put the dry towel on it. You can't carry it into the bathroom? Oh, that was a big break right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So she's streaming live, ain't no editing.
No, ain't no
So
edit.
yeah, so okay.
I want to make sure she's all right. I don't want to go on with the conversation that she over there
I'm
struggling.
trying to listen to this is.
Yeah, all we got is that perspective. We don't see nothing. I'm looking and trying to see. Let me see if I can zoom in on her. Oh yeah, I can just double click her. I can't see there's no mirrors or anything in there.
As long as she ain't screaming, she all right.
Right, yeah, if she started screaming.
I remember the kids, all the kids would be in the back and they'd be in there. They say, hey kids, you gonna go check on them kids? What them kids doing right there? My father said, leave them kids alone until you hear the boom, and then somebody start crying. Don't worry about it. leave them back there. Leave them alone. But once you hear a boom, ah!
The devil is a liar.
I'll tell you.
You know what? I was getting ready, y'all. Excuse me, Lord.
Okay, I'm glad you're
The
okay.
devil is a liar. I had bought, I'm sorry, we're in the middle of the show. I apologize, everyone. But I had a flame going on up there on my dresser. And I had bought one of those little things, those little diffusers that you put the little candle underneath and then you put the liquid on top. So that it can make it
Oh,
smell
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I guess, I don't know if the liquid burnt out or whatever happened. I looked up and I heard all this popping and crackling and all that with the ceramic. And by the time I got up there and I tried to blow it out or whatever, it started flaming up big.
Oh yeah, you don't blow oxygen on fire.
So
You
that's where I messed up. Don't blow.
You don't blow on no.
So
flame.
I should have went and got the towel wet like
or
you
need to get you one of them smothers for candles. And you just lay them on there and smother your flame.
And you see, that's how fire starts.
So then I took it you know what you
it
could
went
use?
Out. It did go down, and I took it to the bathroom, and I put the towel over it, and then I put it in the sink and ran the water. So the water put it out. So it's out now.
Yeah. But hey, for some of you who don't want to go buy them things, you can go to the dollar store or the 9 and get the measuring things for the liquor, and it has a little handle and it has opener, and you can use that to put your candles out.
Okay.
All sizes, because it's 2 different sizes.
That's a good idea, but I think I'm gonna stick with my incense.
Don't go blowing them candles, yeah. And them things you only supposed to burn for so long. You only supposed to let them burn for so long and then put them out, and then the aroma's gonna last. But when you just
that was a little burning, one. Actually, it was little, and I had just bought it while I was out, and I hadn't used one of these before. I have a bigger one that I've never had this problem, but that. Okay, I'm good. Let's get back with the show. I don't even know what I was talking about because that.
I remember I was going to say something in regards to what you were talking about as far as your mom getting on you about doing those risque songs.
Oh yeah, that's where I was at. Yeah, she really had a big issue with that. She made it seem as though I was telling what I do in the bedroom and. How could I do something like that? And it was just embarrassing. I mean, it was just, it hurt me, but I tried to explain to her, but she didn't want to understand, Mom, this is art. This is creativity. This is poetry. This is, it's a certain type of genre. and she just didn't want to hear that. So that became a situation in itself where I had to make a decision to keep doing what I was doing, because I did have people that was totally against it, but it had to be what I wanted to do and what I was doing. And you're going to have people that's not going to be receptive to it. And you're going to have those who's going to love it. You know, a lot of people love it. So, hey, you got to do you. You got to do you. You know what I'm saying? And not get caught up with what people say, because people gonna always have something to say, and it's not gonna always be good about what you're doing. And a lot of times, the more you shine bright, the more you flap the wings, you're gonna have more of that. And I love my mama to death, and I miss her so much. But when it came to that, I mean, I couldn't even say, Mom, here, even a CD that didn't have none of that in it. You know, I was like, hey, check out these other little, you know, check it out. Your daughter got some talent here. Check it. Oh, no. I don't want to hear none of that. And I got that from a lot of family members. Mm-hmm. And at first it bothered me, but it didn't bother me to the point where I wanted to give up. It just bothered me that, wow, why can't you just be supportive, whether you like it or not? Just some people ain't gonna support you until they see you up on stage, like the Oscars or something, or BET Awards. Then they gonna be like, "Oh, my baby! Oh, look at her, she on stage." Some people like that. I've been on stage, but I guess I ain't been on that kind of stage yet. So they just say, "Well, you know." They wait till you get to a certain status. That's unfortunate. Wait till you
get to a certain status, then they want to act like they supported you the whole time.
Yeah. So, you know, that's just, I mean, how do you know, back to the question, you know, a grown child, a person, you know, mature adult, whatever, and they decide to do things that is unpleasing to the parent, making, you know,
But did you say off the
music
hook?
that wasn't bad choices, but I said,
so when you was reading it, was it adult children doing things that are off the hook? What did you read at first?
No, this is a question. This is just a hypothetical question. How do you deal with grown children, or with a grown child that has taken the wrong path or made bad choices?
Wrong path. Or
and
bad
love and blood
choices.
Love and blood is stronger than anything else. So, you know, some people will say they just cutting ties. Their child has decided to do some bad things that is just not, you know, in their liking. It's bad as far as the parent is concerned, you know.
Well, it could be bad as far as that it is bad. That it is bad.
Well, how do you deal with that? I mean, how do you, as a parent, you know, you can't stop loving the child. I mean, you can't stop loving the adult child, right?
Well, if they doing something that's really detrimental, you trying to get them away. You got to tell them sometime, you know, especially if they on them drugs or doing crimes and stuff, you know, because people be selling drugs and running the street doing stuff, and folks is gunning for them. So just to have you around your parents, you just have to have enough sense. But some youngsters don't have that sense, that think people ain't playing with them. So they out here thinking the game is funny, and it's not funny. Mm-hmm. You know, we had 9 shootings in Oakland in the 24-hour period from actually 8 of them was in a 15-minute period. So it was like from 9:30 to 10 o'clock yesterday at 2 different locations, you know, and one of them was a birthday party. And I'm quite sure them kids thought that, you know, we selling drugs, we doing what we do, and ain't nobody tripping on them. And they killed 2 of them. So people don't realize the game. And sometimes you got to tell your grown kids that you can't be around me. You put me in jeopardy. If you got kids, you put them in jeopardy. You doing all that. So sometimes you got to let them know they can't be around you. They grown.
Yeah, they're considered grown. And some of the recent killings that has occurred has been with the young children that's not even 18 years of age that is doing things of that nature. You know, they're school age, they're bringing guns, and they're shooting up. You know, it's no fighting anymore. It's no, I'm gonna meet you after school and we gonna thump. It's about getting somebody's gat, and you know they coming back for you, and whoever's in the way is gonna get it too. You know, and but when they become grown, and you know when they're young like that, you could take control as a parent. You can have them maybe put into a home for boys or girls that is going through some disruption, you know, or juvenile or things of that nature if they break the crime. But when they become an adult, they have to do things to get themselves in trouble, to go to wherever, or you just don't have any control to say yay or nay, because they're going to do what they want to do. And it puts the parent in a bad situation, because sometimes that adult child comes back to the parent. They may be hungry, they may need food, they may need somewhere to stay, or whatever the situation. And you have to make a decision. I know someone who said that they actually just closed the door because their child was out. I mean, their adult child was out in the streets doing things that wasn't cool at all. And they came home hungry and needed somewhere to lay their head, and they wouldn't let them in. They said, no, you can't come here. And then what they ended up doing, they made them a sandwich and handed it to them out the window and say, here's a sandwich for you. You going back and do what you gonna do, or you decide you gonna change your life. And I don't know if that, some would consider that being harsh, but some would consider that being, you know, doing the right thing. Showing them that, you know, you can't just run back here when you want to after being out there doing the things you're doing. So as a parent, it puts you in, you know, like I say, love and blood is stronger than anything. And of course, you don't want to be in a situation where you do nothing, you know, but sometimes doing something is not helping. You see? So being put on pause, and JJ went to do something, but we'll get there.
I don't know.
I'm here. I'm just, you know, I gotta do something.
As a parent for an adult kid, of course you still love your child.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about this not feeding them. You know, I'll feed you. You
Give
know,
them some food. Yeah.
come in and eat you some food. Probably go take you a shower and everything else. You know what I mean? We're gonna get you right. You come and take a shower. I'm gonna feed you some food. I'm gonna let you do all that. Now, living with me, that's a different story. Because whatever that lifestyle is, if it's not, and when I say lifestyle, it could be the lifestyle of a drinker, alcoholic, or lifestyle of a thief, the lifestyle of whatever, just someone who has anger issues. And so I don't want to say
Out
lifestyle,
in the
but that
street, you
his
know,
behavior, just
slanging,
say the
you know.
the
Yeah.
behavior, and that behavior don't match up with goes on in my house.
Yeah.
Not that my energy. Okay. So no, you're not going to live at my home. I'll give you food. I'm not going to be an enabler. I'm not going to be an enabler. I'm
Right.
not going to give
Exactly.
you money. I'm not going to. You say you need money to get somewhere to sleep? Check this out. We'll go get you a hotel room. And I'll pay for the hotel room. You need a hotel room tonight? But because we have to understand, we must offer the help. We must offer Here,
Right.
let me offer this help to you. You need some help. If they don't want to go do it, and there's nothing wrong with asking a few times. You know when you didn't ask enough. But be careful not to be one who is overbearing or whatever, because you trying to suit whatever you got going on, you know. But the whole thing, you offer them and they don't want to, because the thing is, you have to understand, we all lived our life accordingly. Whatever we came across in our paths, and that's a book, like I think I mentioned before, the book, The Principles of the Path. You know, well, I don't know if that's a shout out Andy Stanley, but it talks about how, you know, we see where we at, and when we look at these things that took place, you know, so the guy was wondering, it talks about how this guy got to this road where the bridge was out, the road was out, they could have failed. You know, we're down in the car. How did he end up there? Because he missed this sign. He didn't take, he took this turn instead of this turn, you know, and he did this instead of doing that. So we look at the principles like our finances. Well, look, are you a big spender? These are some of the principles, probably why your finances are a certain way. You know, so we all had that in our lives. We all lived in our own life, you know, our own paths, and we're still living it. And the thing is, sometimes we do want to help them in that bad, you know, in that situation that they're going through. But the thing is, I think I'm uh, uh, said before that the problem is, you know, you can't commit somebody or have somebody committed if they say, oh, if they don't want to go, they can't go. But some of these
Right.
drugs, if we're going to talk about drugs, happen where they can't even make their own decision. But not only that, if it's other things that you're doing that hasn't nothing to do with drugs or whatever, it's their path. They're going to walk this path. It all goes back to the teaching, like the previous question. If you teach your kids right, you teach them, you give them some foundation, at least if they get in trouble and they can't even get a hold to you, for instance, at least they have something instilled in them that they can fall back to and help them get back online, you know.
Absolutely.
And so, but unfortunately, some don't have no teaching, no foundation, you know. Some don't, you know, they don't have anything, you
Right.
know. It's a shame when you say when adults say, for instance, I'm gonna use this as an example, because I'm gonna speak to those who believe as I believe. You call your household a Christian household, but you're not teaching your kids a Christian, giving your kids that Christian foundation that they need. You
Absolutely.
know, you run your house a certain way based on a certain way, and then you want to wonder why they a certain way. Or let's say you run your house with these certain you standards or whatever, but you ain't instilled no standards or morals into your children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Mm.
But like I said,
Very well said.
they have to live their life. They're gonna,
Yeah.
however they live their life, we don't know what's on that path. We don't know what road what side they chose at the fork, if there was a fork, you know. Well, there always a fork, because it comes to the decision. Fork, the road that says no or the road that says yes.
That's right. What you think, JJ? What you think
Um, I
about the grown child making their own choice and path, and the parents?
I know someone that's going through that right now. They're only allowed to go to their parents' house once a week to take a shower. They've been living for pillar to post their whole life. Um, they were part of a band at one point in their lives, and so they're still wanting to kind of chase that dream still, but they're much older. They're up there in age and
Okay.
living out on the streets. And from what I'm hearing about this person, it's not, their health is not looking good. And I'm actually concerned for them because I was actually planning on doing some music with this person. They're really good, really talented, but they have their vices.
Mm-hmm.
And
so their family won't let them live with them.
Nope. And I understand the vice that they're using is very destructive. It can lead them to possibly stealing from the home, or harming themselves inside the home with the parents. The parents don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to live with that type of.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it's hard for them to see their child go through this. And if he's up there in age, we can only imagine how old the parents are having to see this. So
that's a hard pill to swallow.
So they still care about their child, and they're able to go in, get a hot meal, and take a shower once a week, and they send them on his way. So
so they've made their decision not to enable. They made their decision to be there and do what they do, and that's enough until they see some changes with the lifestyle of that child.
But parenting never stops though. You still give advice, you still listen if they want to talk, you still may say, well, I hope you still pray for them, you still do. Parenting continues, you're not abandoning them, you're not doing it, but but it's just some things you can't allow. Now, if it's some things like a struggling band player, like you say, or whatever, I have some questions. Because if you're able-bodied to play this, do your thing and go and play up live music, then you should be
they've been able to hold a job and everything, but they
hustle.
They not able. They just,
I mean, it's some things.
You know what a can't get right is from
can't get right. Yep.
They're just one of them type of people. But it's more of a, I won't necessarily say you can't get right. It's just more of a free spirit. They don't want to be they don't want to be a part of the confines of society, so to speak.
Then you can't beg from society. Don't beg from society if you don't want to be no part of society. Because even though we don't agree with everything that society says, or we don't like how, but we still have to maneuver around each other and do so. So I don't want to be part of the society of going to get a job, but I know you working and you got some bread and you got you a home and you got this. No, what I got is mine. What you got is a problem, a grown personal problem. That you need to fix. And it's no way, because it's no way in the world. It's no, now say my kid out doing stuff, and my kids have done things. And it's times when I say, well, I'm gonna help you through it, because bad decisions. Sometimes certain decisions we're gonna be there. But when it comes to where, like I think Ben said earlier, calls something in the household or whatever, no, you can't come change the dynamics of this household with your energy. Your energy, your behavior is contrary to my behavior and my energy.
Right.
That's in my house. So we're not having that. But I'm not abandoning you. And I'm not gonna treat you like no dog. That handing some food out the window and all that, I'm not gonna disgrace you. Because you gotta understand, it's the action. That's the problem, not the person. The person I love.
Wait a minute, John. Wait a minute.
So but the actions, their behavior, and their actions.
John.
Say what?
Hey, Ben,
if they done stole your 60-inch TV out your house, you still gonna let them in? You ain't gonna hand that sandwich out that window? Like this fool done stole my 60.
But they gonna sit at the table where I tell them to sit, because I know what they about. See, I know their truth. See, I know your truth. Oh no, I got a cousin. I ain't gonna not a cousin being, but I got a cousin being. Like to pick up stuff. Because of being, no, I don't play. No, you sit right there. Don't you touch nothing. Where you going? Going to the bathroom. You didn't ask me that. Come on, we ain't playing. We know what time it is. It's reality. But I love you. You better fix you a Playboy or something. You go and sit down and eat. Matter of fact, fix you something to take with you too. But just take that plate. Don't take that else.
Don't take my
because you
tablet.
gotta love the people. We hate what they do. We hate what things.
Absolutely.
I mean, folks hate what we speak for me. Folks hate what I did. Folks did not like the things I was doing. I know over years, and probably don't like some things I'm doing now. But okay. But I hope you still love me. And in that love, I hope you might open your mouth and say, check this out. You slipping over here because you need to get something together, or what have you. That's
They
just
ain't gonna
like I
say
say,
nothing.
you got somebody, y'all going to the concert, going to dinner and everything. And then on y'all way home, they say, you got that booger still in your nose. That was before we left the house.
Oh, that's messed up.
See,
Oh,
that's what that is. That's what that look
bro.
like.
Yeah.
You speak up for the ones you love. You see, like I say, give them something to eat. Don't degrade them. Don't treat them like something. Say what you gotta say, and as a parent, that's all we could do.
And then would you feel bad opening up the door and saying they gotta bye-bye after you do all that?
No, I would let them know. Now look, you can stay here, but go and get your shower, whatever. But
You would
around
let them
this
stay the
time,
night, but they couldn't live
they
there.
I might even let them stay the night, depending on what's going on. It gotta be about what's going on. You ain't gonna run up in here all, hey, check it out. Oh no, you ain't staying the night. Not tonight with all this. Hey, check it out. I got all this going on and blah, blah, blah. And you not tonight. You ain't staying. Matter of fact, let me pack you. I got something in the fridge. Let me pack you something right now. I'm gonna make sure you eat. Hopefully, you can come
Oh my
down some
God.
and come back. But how you gonna sleep with somebody around the house like that? All you hear is boom, boom, bam, boom.
They ain't gonna sleep. They don't sleep.
And you
Stay
ain't
up.
gonna sleep.
They
And
don't
you ain't
sleep.
gonna
Ben,
sleep.
They ain't gonna sleep.
So Ben, what's your thoughts when they're grown? When they're grown and you have to deal with that, them choosing the wrong route, the wrong road, that's not good. And so
Well, people have different families deal with it differently. I've had training and things of that nature. So I try to, like even the situation I had when my kid's mom was alive, and that was to the point where I was like, man, this is hands off. You can't be under the influence and jacked all up and then trying to tell everybody what to do. You can't run the show and your show is jacked up. So, but having a kid like that, I don't know.
a kid that's grown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I would have not a clue. I would figure it out. My first thing, I had a meeting of the brothers. I have people I talk to, and I'll be sitting down with my group of my father's group, and we would discuss this. And we would come up with different scenarios and stuff, and that's probably the direction I would go. But me, myself, because you make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, you've did something that, I don't know, man. You can do some stuff that, I mean, like, say for instance, you say, "Oh, I'm gonna turn my kid away, and I'm not gonna deal with you. You're gonna have, and then they go down the street, and 20 minutes later they gone. I mean, how is that gonna put you? What situation is that gonna put you in? Are you gonna be able to sleep at night for the rest of your life, knowing that you could have just kept your kid for a minute, but you chose to just give them a sandwich out the window and now they dead.
That's some cold stuff.
But it's real. It's real. Like these young bros out here at 14, 15, they running into cats that's acting a fool. Their mama and daddy ain't listening. So they just go purchase them a gun and they take them to school and shoot them right in the school. I'm just not having this from this dude right in the school, and it's over. And now they go from juvie to adult prison. You know, I got a couple of people I'm dealing with now. They started their sentence when they was 17, 18, 19. 20 years straight, 25 years straight. You like, woo.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing. And much prayer, you know, to anybody going through that. And having to deal with things within your family where, you know, your kids do go down wrong roads. I mean, we can't do nothing but love them and be there for them the best that we can. That's all you can do.
Real thing, real quick tap. But think about adult kids who decide to make a bad decision where it affects even their family, your grandkids, adult, you know, you have all this that branches all the way down, you know, and it's a trip. But certain decisions, I think we need to be careful when we say like lifestyles, because I think certain choices and lifestyles are different. They can make a choice and choose the life of crime, you know what I mean? But they may choose a lifestyle of, you know, it could be my son, choose a lifestyle of, he performs female impersonations at the Asian Club in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives his life during the evening as a female.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now, you know, these are things you may discuss and share your opinion about, but you cannot force the person in making the decision that they'll choose, because you can cause, you know, especially if you don't know what they're dealing with. Some people choose because they fully believe to and I'm not just talking about that type of lifestyle, but just any lifestyle, because they fully believe that's the lifestyle that's for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some who make certain choices because of mental health and things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they end up in a certain lifestyle or what have you, or usage or what have you. But it's just the whole thing about it is it's still this, no matter, it's the same. You gotta love them. You gotta continue. You just don't have to support or engage. You're not obligated to do that, you know, but you're also not obligated, or you don't had no right also to degrade them or whatever either, or disown. You can't disown family. You didn't have no choice.
But it's folks that will disown.
They claim they do.
Hey, John,
I've been
you know
disowned
what?
and not
Well, you know what?
back.
You can. Let me wait a minute. Now we can't, because you know what? I would have to bite my tongue, or I would be contradicting one of my statements. I always say, you know, what runs through our veins is our bloodline, but everybody whose family does not belong to a part of the bloodline, you know. So because there's some people in the bloodline who is not family. If we ever think about what family is and how family is in the attributes and the responsibilities of a family, you know. So I want to take that back, because I heard being already. I heard
No,
being.
that wasn't what I was saying. I
Oh,
was coming in because you
Ben?
know what I was saying? I feel sorry for, you know, a lot of people that have not went out and, you know, got any help or any understanding or done any training, and they're in the middle of dealing with these situations. Because they put their family and their kids in a lot of jeopardy by not getting the education to deal with some of this stuff right. You know, it's some people out here, man, that, you know, they dealing with some heavy stuff and they doing everything wrong. And you know, you have to, when you dealing with something that's above you, that you have no idea, you have to go and get the help that you and your family member need so you can help get this situation together.
Video is on.
Because my goodness.
And I mean, that works well when they're under 18 and they're under your custody per se, as far as, you know, they're minors. But when they become adults, there's things that you cannot make them do. You can only,
but you got to know how to manage that.
Provide them with you know, what information you may have, or the love, the support. But
you got, Donna, you have to be able to manage that though when they're an adult. It's parents that literally pass away because of shame, worry, stress, because of what's going on with their kids. They go see Jesus behind. You know, people that said they kid done got in a situation in 2 years while they're in their jail situation, they mama or they daddy died. You know, you got to know how to manage some of this stress as opposed to just bottling up and trying to do it all your own. That's
you know, for me, I know my kid's been in a situation, and it has nothing to do with shame or anything. I never, no shame and none of that. But in an adult, you can't manage their choices. All you could do, you have to make sure you manage yourself, because you still have a life that you have to live. But at the same time, that's why I say, see, when they become adults, the parenting don't stop. Parenting don't mean now you're under my household rules, or I need you to be at your own house at 10 o'clock in bed at 10:30. You know, it's not none of that. My parenting is, I'm still going to give you advice. I'm still going to, you know, talk to you or whatever. You need to talk to somebody, even in your state. And I know it's crazy. I'm going to listen to you or whatever. I'm here. You know, just know you're going through it. Now, you're not alone while you're still existing. You're not alone. But as you're going through that, I can't go through that with you like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but those who do have shame, like being is saying, them is the ones that do the outside the window and the stuff turn away and don't want to learn about things. Because I learn about things, and I talk to people who are familiar, you know, or what have you. You know, because you can't talk to everybody. Everybody, you know, we say, oh, you know, I got people in my circle. I say it's one big circle, and that's everybody you know. But then you got these other circles on the inside. Now, one of them circles may be about business. The other circle may be about, you know, my Monday night football cats, maybe my job. Them people are in them circles. Everybody don't fit in them circles. And certain things that's going on, especially when you're dealing with your kids, some folks can't help you, you know, because they either are, like you saying, they would probably be the ones, if it was their kids, would be shameful. You know, it's best to talk to some folks who done been through some things with their kid. May not be the same thing, but they've been through some things with their kid and they had to endure, but they also know what it is to live your life and allow your kid. Well, you can't do nothing but let the kid live their life. You ain't allowing them nothing. You ain't allowing them loving. Just keep loving them. Keep loving them. And you keep loving them, you'll be guided. You let love lead you, you'll be guided just right on when and what to do with them.
That's right, grown or not. That's right, absolutely. Thank you guys for that feedback. JJ, you had anything else to say about that?
Oh no, I was just listening. I like all the insight that we're getting. I like the different perspectives. This one was a really good one.
Yeah, it's you know, it's something, you know, it's something that definitely once you go through it, every individual handles it differently. But like John said, you have to have that love. And like Ben say, you have to have some type of educational base on how to deal with. Because there's no blueprint or rule book or directional book on parenting or things that's going to occur, and every situation is different, and sometimes you're backed up against the wall with what do I do, you know? And sometimes you can turn around and do something that will ignite and cause it to, you know, like Ben say, you don't let them in, you know, and they leave and they go down the street and something happens, you got to live with that. You know, you got to live with that devastation. The only thing I had to do was open the door. And perhaps if I would have opened the door and let them eat something or bathe or whatever, or just sit down and chill, I could have saved their lives. But we don't know. You know, we don't know. And some are just fed up. If you have an adult child that has caused enough corruption in your family, in your house, in your life, where you just can't fathom the thought of them even coming inside your house. Some people have been through a lot, and they do what they need to do. Whether, you know, you may have had a child who jumped on you or stole from you or did some things that you just can't get it back. You know, you can't get it right. And so every situation is definitely different, but you know, it's just prayers to that. Yeah,
I think we did have different perspectives. I think it showed the different attributes on the different situations that you may face, and just how is, because as an adult, just as an adult, because we're not talking about a child, an adult, your responsibility. That's you live in that life as it is. Now, as a parent, now you're a parent. Now you're still living the life as an adult. Now you got to deal with the life as a parent, you know, and don't have a job. Now you got to combine that life as a job, or be a student or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
But when you're dealing with that parent thing, you know, it's always like I say, all these different attributes that you're gonna have to have on dealing with no telling which way they may come at you, you know, if they violent, you know, or if they involved in violence, like being mentioned earlier, and people may come by and shooting up your house, you know, then hey, you can't come to this address, you know. And that's the trip, how you have to, and the cold part is, we as parents, I always say, once you become a parent, all that stuff that may be possibly that you may have to face is instilled in you already to be able to deal, you know, to deal with it and get through it. You just have to put it into action, exercise it. I always say you just gotta exercise it. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets.
Because if you out there slanging, or you into, you know, gangs, or you got a situation, you knocking and banging on the door, and whoever could be following you, I mean, that's a sticky situation. I may not feel comfortable with letting you in, you know, and that's your child. That's somebody you love, and you know, but they made the choices to be a part of what they were, and now you bringing that to my house, and folks is after you to my house, then they don't care if they get me too. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't snowfall.
Yeah, you know, you sitting in here, they want you, but they don't care. Whoever's in the way,
bro.
they gonna get whoever's in the way.
Hey,
Huh?
I was sitting over here about, this was some time back, like 3-4 years. Yeah, it's about 3 years ago. And we sitting here, man, and all of a sudden, all you hear is these gunshots. These people next door to us, they had 2 people standing in their lawn with AK-47s shooting into their house. And one of the kids got hit, but none of them people never came back. But you imagine, it's people out here that will do those things.
Yeah.
Sit on the lawn shooting into somebody's house with an AK-40s. They just shot their whole house up.
Well, you see, y'all just had that shooting Saturday where the lady said she thought it was fireworks. She was at her boyfriend's house and she thought it was fireworks, and the 2 kids got killed.
Mm.
And now
that was the one in West Oakland, probably, huh?
Yeah, over there.
It was 2 other kids got hit too.
Some from Berkeley, yeah. 2 got hit and 4 got hit. Yeah. 2 died, 2 critical. They looking for a 17-year-old kid.
That's so sad.
But it's 2 of them. It was 2 of them. It was another set. It was 2 kids in a house party, in a birthday party.
Yeah.
And 2 of them got killed. 2 of them got shot. Then they had a similar situation over in West Oakland. I said, how is that possible? 8 people got shot within a 15-minute period of time.
Yeah, you can't come to my house. You involved in that stuff. You cannot come to my house.
You got to go, bro. You got to go.
And see, that's a situation
now,
where
if you want me,
makes a
what I do,
choice.
You have to go get food somewhere else.
Yeah.
Check this out, or you get them a cash card and you add to it. If you no, I wouldn't give you no cash card. I'll go get you some food.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very sticky slope situation. You love them, you want to be supportive of them, but it just depends on the lifestyle that they're living.
Can't even go to Applebee's.
The lifestyle that they're living that can get you caught up and your family, siblings, kids, parent, whoever it is that's with you in that household, you can be caught up. Real talk. That's sad. Moving right along, you guys, the last question of the day. Today's corporate America jobs are a necessity for most people. But some talk down about those who need to have to work because of a lack of an entrepreneur mindset. Okay. Today's corporate America jobs are a necessity for most. But some people talk down about those who need or have to work because of a lack of an entrepreneur mindset.
I know somebody just like that.
You have you not on that entrepreneur mindset page, but you over here making this corporate America change something for every hour you getting paid, you into that, and they literally talk down on you for accepting that instead of having that entrepreneur mindset. Why is that?
Well,
because they see the future.
As far as Black people, we weren't given generational wealth. So let's address that part first. So we're having to deal with the after effects of slavery and Jim Crow and all of that stuff that leads up to right now. And they're talking about reparations now for California. I just recently read up about that, but I know that's on another subject, but it relates to, it's hard for us to get, it's not hard to get an education loan. It's not hard to get a loan on for anything else other than a business loan. If you're trying to go into business for yourself as a Black person, you might not get the money because they want to control you. They want to make sure that you are stuck in your situation. So however you got to hustle to go and, eventually turn your regular job into your side job, that's how you got to do it. Whether people look down on you or not, that's just what it is. They can look down on you because they probably feel some type of way about their own lifestyle. But you got to hustle how you got to hustle. And like I said, if you have to work that corporate job for a little while and save your money and everything so you can fund your business eventually, you know,
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Do what you got to do, and you can eventually. You might not have the entrepreneurial mindset right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out and go get that mindset later. And you can go get some training or take some classes to help you with your business later on, eventually. But right now, this is what you got to do. And people are gonna look down on you, whatever you do. They looking down on celebrities who billionaires. They looking at Rihanna like, what are you doing? You know, she's a billionaire, but
they looking down on Nick Cannon because he didn't have 10 kids.
Come on. We worried about somebody else's money for.
Well,
worry about your money.
I mean, some is just, you know, they just looking down on that mindset of dealing with corporate America. What do you guys think about that? People who don't have that entrepreneur focus.
Well, my play on it right now is you have to understand what the future is coming. 2053 is supposed to be the year that Black people have no wealth. That's supposed to be the year of zero for us. So to act like that's time is not coming, and then especially if you worked in the corporate situation, you know how we get treated. It's not like you in this situation, you working 20 years and you getting treated like a king. You getting treated like trash. If you have a position that's paying a halfway decent wage, you catching hell all the time. So for somebody to sit there and watch them and say, hey, man, this situation is rough. You need to do something about it. And they like, oh, you just pushing your agenda. No, you're not pushing your agenda. You know what's coming. It's a lot of stuff that's coming, and you need to get yourself away and out the way because they not trying. Come on, man. Do you think it's going to be more jobs later or less? You see, they automate. So, yeah, you can't even go to McDonald's now without them automating the system where they working 2 or 3. They used to have a crew. They used to have at least 10 people in McDonald's. Now they got 4. Even in Burger King, they got 2 people in the back, 2 people in the front. It used to be 10, 15 people. It's less jobs. It's less opportunity. All this, even your corporate situation, because of COVID, half them people ain't even coming to the office no more. So are you going to just sit here and wait until you don't have nowhere to go? Or are you going to prepare now? And most people are saying, hey, you know, look at the stock market. Understand what that is. Look at real estate. Understand what that is. Look at some of these businesses, drop shit. Look at, you know, it's a lot of options. It's not one option, but to say, man, I'm just going to be corporate and I'm going to work this job and I'm going to be here for 25, 30 years. You're not even going to get that. Who you know that done worked at a job for 25 years? I don't know nobody.
I know quite a few people.
Me?
I know a couple of people just.
I know somebody who should be retired now and still working.
Why?
You know what? But see, we have to be careful because we have to look at the different generations. Some people are invested in certain places where they're working, and they have a good they got some good retirement or 401k, whatever they got invested into this. They could be in the ESOP or whatever. We don't know, you know. So you have to now for younger people trying to get into go into your own business and stuff. That is the thing, and that is a good direction. But we can't look down on one or the other because some people can't learn how to do this and learn how to do that. We gotta understand that's why we had vocational schools with, you know, John O'Connell and in these schools that taught people because academics is not for everybody. Trade is not for everybody. Because I know a guy who came out. I remember started working with us when I was doing work for Labardi, and he came out and and this guy, he graduated from Stanford. I forgot what kind of degree he had. He had a really good degree, but he out there coming to push shovels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up here interviewing this guy to come push a shovel. So but the whole thing is, what are you doing? Because some people working in these places, and I ain't saying that uh, discrimination and everything else, inequality and everything, yes, exists in the corporate world. I'm not a corporate person, to work for big corporations. I don't like it, but um, but the thing is, like I say, some people invested depending on what the company is giving them. Some of them, their benefits, they can probably have a family member who's going through some medical thing, and and they're on their benefits, and the company is footing all this junk. You know what I mean? Or what have you. So we have to understand the person's
For the
situation.
benefits, yeah.
Yeah, a person's situation. But if a person does have a entrepreneur mind, if we would say, or what have you, and they have some dreams, and other folks know they you need to go and pursue that.
Pursue that, yeah.
Go and do that. And if you do have a way where, however you bring it in your bread, you should be thinking about where do we do with this for the future, not go spend it all up today. We got paid today and it's all spent today. What they say, you can tell when them checks come in, because it's whoa, we got some shrimp, we got some steak, we got we got some
Good
we got some Texas toast.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Come on, because we get into that, because that's what we think. Oh no, because when you got money, that is what you're supposed to do. you know and instead of saying no, let's get some. Well, what about when we don't eat that? We eat that one day like that, or that whole week we spend all this money. We done went on all this rich food or whatever, and then now how we eating the rest of the month? So if you making it the rest of the month, you probably should start out like that and just go ahead and save your money and start investing it into other little things. There's so many ways to invest, or just learn how to put it into something where it can be saved.
And a lot of people have to be directed to know what, corporate America does work for some when they need it to work for them. Like JJ said, you have that job, you're working towards your goal to build your whatever you're trying to do. That money is helping you survive, helping you invest in what you're trying to do, and then you branch off. But for us to down one another and to make it look as though, man, you ain't doing nothing. You working over there. You need to be. Now that's wrong. We should be building one another up. What tools can you provide for them? What information can you give them? What direction can you show them that they could use, or they may have their own personal plan. Corporate America works in the moment for them. So support that.
But people have to be, you can't spoon feed somebody everything. If they not figuring out any of this situation and they not trying to, and you explaining stuff to, they not writing it down, researching, you can't carry another human being around on your back. It's just, that's not how life is. You can't. So if they don't have that, they don't have that gift of trying to make that stuff happen. A lot of times you may have to, people get upset when they don't see their friend as much, and it's the reason, because your friend is like, look, I'm just not. I need to be around somebody that's elevating me. You not elevating me. I need to be. If I'm a 6-figure earner, I need to be around a 7-figure earner. And
Oh,
if
Right.
wait,
you
we
was,
gotta what?
that's just what it
So
is.
so wait a minute.
Mm.
Uh,
That's
so
that.
we come up as
No, that's
friends.
real.
We come up as friends. Now, what I'm doing is good. It's taking care of my family. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But what you doing, it just fortunately happens to pay you more money. That's all it's doing. Just like a person who becomes an actor or whatever. A lot of rappers out there, but some rappers, yeah, they're good, or whatever. And it was fortunate that they got paid, but they're still that person. Now they choose. So it's like, well, because you only got this far, I need to cancel you out my life. But I've been right
No,
there
they
as
ain't
your
cancer. You just don't
friend.
be with them. You
I've
don't
been
be
as
with them
your
as much,
friend. I
John.
actually probably supported you and encouraged you to help you get where you going.
But
But
it's only 24 hours in a day, John. You can't
but the
be.
whole
You
thing
gotta be
is,
where you gotta be.
the whole thing is,
That same
it's
friend
not
can bring
about
you
looking
down.
down on one another.
That's
If I decide to become me and my brother work at the same corporation, and I decide I start my own business or whatever and whatever, and he doesn't, he decide he gonna continue working there, whatever.
That's right.
I should look down on him, and because he's not elevating, because I was fortunate enough to elevate, but you know what? I'm supposed to look down on
Fortunate.
him or cut
That's
him
not
out.
fortunate.
It is
You working
fortunate
hard, John.
because you know why I'm gonna
You
say it's
think if
fortunate.
you
A
working,
lot
you
of
working 8 and plus.
let me tell you something, but you don't know what the salary is because there is some of us who getting some good salary, and those who are not this color are complaining because we are getting that salary. But
Yeah.
we don't, but the whole thing is I should not look down on him because he didn't come up. And it is
I
fortunate
I didn't
because
say look down.
you know how many entrepreneurs, one of the biggest issues with entrepreneurs what they're worried about right now is insurance, trying to pay insurance. They have no insurance. They have no benefits. A lot of them is that I know in California is on California coverage thing
California.
Yep.
and coming out of it. So we have to really be careful because some people could go into something because they see or whatever, and then if you still got to balance your money, you still got to balance your stuff. You can't just say, "Oh, this and that." Oh, I'm gonna talk down on them now that you're gone. But when you was there, was you talking down on yourself? Who was talking down on you? You
John,
know.
come on,
But
man.
come on,
You
no,
know
you
what you
can't
got.
talk
You
down
know
on
what's going.
people.
It's not talking down on the person.
But
And
that's
me and
what the
you as
letter thing
friends,
said.
and you working 8 hours a day, and I'm working the 8 hours a day with you, plus I'm working another 6 or 7 or 8 hours at night. I don't have time to go to the bowling alley and hang out with you and go
Oh,
to the bar and drink the drinks. Dude, I got to make this happen. And when
we not
in the
saying
time
all
you making
that.
it happen, you got to go to the next level. You got to get around people that's the next level. You can't stay around all the people that you've been around. You have to elevate to get to the next level. You think Michael Jordan and Dominique and all them superstars, you think they hung around the same people they hung around when they was little kids? They couldn't.
A lot of them have, and that's
They
why a
couldn't.
lot of them ended up in trouble. We have a lot of these sportsters, celebrities who hang around. They still hood,
So what's that saying?
that's what I
still
was just
do
about to
hood
say.
stuff, and what have you. But it is the thing is, just because you made the decision in your life. Because
Yeah.
my life may not have room for that. Hey, I got 7 kids at home. You don't know how I got to maneuver at home. You don't know with my wife if I got a wife. At home. I mean,
But that's not my call.
we can't say that, and we're not talking about going to the bowling alley. Like I said, me and my brother, We work for the same corporation. I decide that I'm running a side business at the same time, but he's
Uh-huh.
still putting in his salary job at the corporation. You see what I'm saying? I elevate, I come up. Matter of fact, I'm doing public speakings, I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing things. This is a dream of mine. Oh, I mean, this is my desire. I don't cancel out my brother because he's still deciding to stay at that corporation.
Exactly.
I don't, because I may kick it around
Answer
some
here.
people. I don't, because I decide I'm gonna go. Well, what happens is the only reason I'm kicking around these people who may be having the same figures I'm got, and I'm quite sure they probably might have more. The only reason is because I was fortunate, because when I went to go start my business, just because I started my business didn't guarantee me that I was gonna reach that status. I was fortunate in the work that I put in, and people recognize whatever it did that allowed me to get there. But guess what? Misfortune might come along. And guess who gonna be right there? My brother with his salary corporation
That's right.
job.
That's right.
But is he gonna be there when I'm successful? Is he gonna be like you selling out? Is
But
he gonna, you know
when
what I
you
mean?
connected,
Like,
when you got love, and we see when you connected and you not downing and judging one
They'll
another,
be there.
family don't do that. You
that's what I
encourage the
mean.
other one.
You gotta be around people that elevate you. If you're around
That's right.
somebody that's looking down on you for being an entrepreneur, there's that too. That's more on the flip side. If anything, they want to look that, like some jobs that you get like 2 times to fail in your job history
And
as
that's
far as
it. And
being
you
a mind
gone.
entrepreneur, and that's it. And they might not even hire you because you failed as an entrepreneur, whether or not you had other jobs after that, but people are doing a lot of job switching right now, especially because of the pandemic. So you got 2 times to fail, and that's it. And some people might not even hire you. So it's really, I feel like a lot of it is on the flip side, where they're looking down on the entrepreneur, not necessarily. They a lot of people will give you a congratulations because you got a corporate job, but when you say you started your own business, they ain't got no love for you.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
I mean, this
but the talk, like she said, the talk around entrepreneurs is about people who are, when you hear them and speak, because come on, my sister gives these speech, these things where people are talking about entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
talking about working in corporate and getting out the corporations. I hear this talk. And
okay.
these things, this is the talk. And that's why I say, and I hear the talk about the insurance and things like that, benefits and stuff. They going around barely trying to take care of some things. Like I say, it's fortunate. It's not a guarantee. You got your own business. That was your dream. That was good.
Do it.
I may have a dream to say, you know what? I want to be, when I come home from my job, I don't want to worry about nothing. I just want these people to give me my bread, pay my insurance. I come home, I spend time with my family and my kids
There you
24
go.
whenever I get off. That's somebody, people. But just because I don't make the same figures you make as a entrepreneur or whatever,
Shouldn't
I can
yeah.
I can still lift you up. I can still, because I ain't the
Oh
one
yeah,
who
you gonna
elevates
show
you.
them love. You
But I
just ain't
can
gonna be
still
around
Right.
them all
I
the time.
I can still, but I can give you something that help keep you going, because there are some people who get people who are not making that same money, and they're the ones who saying, helping them keep their head in the game, saying,
Hmm.
no, this ain't how it go. You up here doing this or doing that. You got some people who saying, here, no, this is where you need to be doing. So we have to really be careful about who, according, because your figures, or because you're doing this or doing that, because you can have some folks who ain't got no bread in their pocket, but the bread you probably breaking them off for whatever little advisory or whatever they doing for you, who can be very encouraging and uplifting and actually help you get along from where instead of you messing up your own self, carrying on in your business or whatever you doing. So the figures ain't got nothing to do with it. It was fortunate. You was
Well,
fortunate
some people
that it
change,
happened.
John. You know that. You know, and you're not fortunate. It's no. That's not true.
Then what is it?
Is it because when you have preparedness, when you spend the time, you spend the energy, when you doing your everything that's going on, you're not fortunate. You've done the work and put in the work to get to the situation that you need to get. But everybody can't. Like your brother. You saying your brother has the right mentality, right mindset that works. Some people get around people and when they trying to increase their wealth or increase whatever they doing, they call them all kind of saps and oh man, look at you done fell off with your kids and oh you ain't you can't be around that when you trying to accomplish the things that you've never accomplished before.
That's
Period.
Well,
people
that's
who's not
different. That's
encouraging
different.
you. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, that's
different
different.
situation.
But we talking about if I came up, if it was JJ, if JJ was someone and just like it is right now, and all of a sudden I don't care if I hit the Mago, what they call that thing, the money
Mega
Magos,
lottery, the
Yeah,
megas.
Magos,
Mega
or whatever.
Million.
The
Okay,
Mega Millions.
or
You know, oh
whatever.
no,
Mega.
you ain't
The Mega
knowing.
Million.
We ain't it ain't fired like that, and that's not nothing I can say, oh no, you just saying it, because the simple fact is that's not what make it. Uncle saying anything can happen.
That's right.
Anything has
You can.
happened. You know, I'm fortunate to be able to say, here, y'all, I'm sending y'all, give me y'all email because I'm about to send y'all electronic transfer check of each of this because y'all, I'm fortunate to do that because
Oh, you
and
doing the
if I
you doing
and
the
if I start a
Oprah Winfrey?
business, if I
You
start a
doing the you
business,
get the car?
it's not
Oh,
guaranteed. I'm just
okay.
fortunate,
I thought
you
you had.
know.
I thought you was giving me the you got the car like
And I
Oprah.
get
He
you,
got
I
a
give you a
car.
card too.
I'm giving
I'll be like,
everybody
no,
1K.
well, with being, I'll be
Yeah,
like, you got a ranch. You can sit you in the thing. You got a
yeah,
ranch. You got a studio. You
yeah.
got a
Give me a
studio. You got a
buffalo.
book signing. You got a.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I
Thank you,
mean, but
brother.
but we gotta always, those who've been right there with us, who knew us when we didn't even know ourselves. You
Yeah.
can't, you can't, you
We
can't
gotta
cut them
support and
out.
lift one another
I
up.
don't care how
Yeah.
much fortune you get. You got to keep
Yes.
them.
And I don't know if Ben is saying it right or
Deion
whatever.
Sanders is a good
I
one.
understand you wanna, you wanna flock with certain people that's in your interest zone or whatever, but you can't just cut off those who have been there or who's doing a little less or
There's
who's
no
trying
such
to
thing as
support
can't.
you or whatever. Their choice is corporate America. Your choice is your
There's no such thing as
entrepreneurship.
can't.
So cutting them off like that, cutting somebody off, because there's a chance that you can cut folks off and you think you're gonna elevate with these Stepford wives and everybody else, and something happens where you crash.
Yeah, but you're not cutting
No,
them.
but
You not.
being seeing them negative folks,
Yeah, you usually
them
not gonna
negative
cut off
folks.
people that's cool. But when
Yeah.
you got somebody that's just on your head, yeah, I mean, come on, you done
Somebody
seen
that's
the
not
people that's
That
just
negative.
talking mess about you oh man, look, you ain't
Yeah.
made it yet, bruh. What's taking
Yep,
you so
I've gotten that
Yeah,
long?
I
too.
get that.
Oh, what's the
Yep,
Yeah.
you
deal?
still
I
doing
thought you
me?
was
Thing. How
that
old is you
man.
now? Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
bro.
get that.
Yeah.
Nah,
He right.
I ain't
Yeah.
going around you. I'm not
Yeah.
coming
You got to
around you.
eliminate
Because there's
that.
some people, like some people will say, well, yeah, you've been doing that for a long time. When is gonna happen? What's going on? What you
But
have
ain't
people
share.
who just
But ain't
come
share
at you
one
like
link.
that. Hmm?
Yeah,
They ain't share one link at all.
that's right.
Ain't bought one
Yeah.
book.
What's
Come on now.
Why are you taking
Ain't
so long? Then you
supported
say,
nothing. Ain't
well,
supported
you want me to
nothing.
be, then you
They
hit
ain't
them with,
done
well, what
nothing.
you want me to do? Be like you? Doing nothing?
But
Why
you know
you mad
what?
at me? Because I'm trying.
It's
You
just dismissed. I
But
mean,
I do want to say something about some of this. We talk about some of the black businesses and supporting the black businesses. We got to be fair to. and I got a whole list of black businesses I always try to shop from, but some of these prices and some of the things that be up in their stores be ridiculous. I said, okay, I'm gonna get these little 3-pack of draws. I ain't spending no $53 for no 3-pack of draws. That's like some regular old Fruit or
Put it
Hanes
alone.
draws.
Yeah, I can get.
You
I
know,
get my package
and there's some others,
Amazon.
but then we have to understand because sometimes I watched the vendors. Put it this way, I watched the vendors. Certain people came to their booths, get certain things, then they work with them, offer them little stuff and this and that, or what have you, and then we approach, and then it's like we don't get some of the same customer service,
Mm-hmm.
from our own people.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
And then at the same time, we got to understand too, just because they're our own people as consumers, we can't be expecting them to give us the jug to try to get some type of
Yep.
GP status or whatever hookup we want. We got to respect it across the board. But unfortunately, I witnessed that, and it's like, and not just one time, so so the whole thing is we have to, once we get out this thinking that we have been programmed by, I'm gonna say white America, not by white people, white America's against black America. So this
Versus,
programming,
huh?
they already displayed so much hate for us to where we started hating one another, and that goes all the way back where the light skinned and the dark skinned was hating one another. They created this hatred between us. You know what I mean? So we got to get away from that. Get away from that hatred for one another and start trying to. You don't have to empower me by doing something miraculous or what we consider miraculous, because sometimes you're encouraging words instead of your hating words because I look different to you as your own people. You know what I'm saying? And you can just say something
Brown
encouraging that could
skin.
be miraculous in its own self,
Yeah.
but once we get from that, we going, no matter if it's corporation up and like JJ said, it's gonna be reversal. Corporate people, are they down there trying to start their business? Are they selling candles? Think they doing something? Yeah, but you don't know. Hey, them candles probably paying a mortgage and two
Popping.
brand new
They
car notes.
popping, baby.
You don't
They
know. You know what I
popping.
mean? But the thing is, and instead of being happy for one another, but then we want to go back and celebrate in February how so and so was the first. Oh yeah, he was the first black person. It was the first black woman that did this. And then we want to celebrate that, but we don't. When did we stop celebrating?
I get it.
And that's so we gonna always have that.
Something to think about, ain't it?
Yeah.
Something to think about. You guys been powerful. Fire tonight. All your comments and feedback and everything, and we've run out of time. We're gonna have to end the show tonight.
Ooh,
Have run out of time. You guys have had a whole, but remember, I got something caught on fire, and we started a little late. We had
It's getting hot in
JJ, I'm glad she told it.
Remember
It's
that, and
getting hot in here.
I know when you live, you can't erase nothing. So whatever.
Cut that out.
Sorry. I'm sorry, viewing audience. I'm sorry. We had a fire.
The roof.
Yeah.
The roof is on fire.
We had technical difficulties. We couldn't hear nothing when we started. But you know what? We brought you the fire tonight. Regardless of
Literally.
fire, okay? Yes,
literally.
But thank you guys so much. We're gonna be back next Sunday.
Ain't no other show bring you the fire, literally.
That's right. That's right. We gonna be here at 7 o'clock, 7:30. One of those. It'll be somewhere in between there. We gonna.
So that means the Donna show is hot.
Yeah, the tabletop.
Yeah.
Smoking. It was smoking.
Literally, it's just fire everywhere. Literally.
It's so hot. You
Smoking.
can't even put it out. Can't
I
even
was
put it out.
scared, y'all. I was scared. It was flames
I'm
was
glad
going
you all right.
up like, you know how they start going, whoop. And I said, oh my, you gotta know how to put fires out when they get
Yeah,
hot.
y'all gotta watch
Do
that
you
thing.
do you have a fire extinguisher?
Yeah, but it's downstairs. By the time I would have got down
Oh,
there
you
and
ain't
came
got
back
nothing
up, my
upstairs?
whole dresser would have been on fire.
Girl, you
Okay.
better get you something upstairs, fire
Okay, I gotta
rise.
get one for upstairs. I don't have one for upstairs.
Mhm.
All
You
right,
gotta
thank
make
y'all
your
for
way
joining
downstairs.
tonight. Thank y'all for joining. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye,
Everybody say
y'all.
Yeah.
bye.
Lord.